Hello everyone, and welcome back to Revolution 2099. I'm your host from now until the end of time, Caillou, and today we're going to be watching the round 1 match of the Urshad Covenant of Blood Rotation Tournament. It's between Dodger and Purplemurasaki, both of whom are on aggressively slanted mid-range decks, but both with specific flavors of things that they're built around. Purplemurasaki is on a red-black self-discard archetype, which has a bunch of payoffs for, discarding cards, and then essentially tries to play a small game and quickly find your own cards by looting, or otherwise just getting upside for discarding your own cards. Meanwhile, Dodger is playing green-red deserts, which gives you a bunch of payoffs for playing the titular type of land, and essentially just scales out. Like you have like a bunch of like ramp and you have a bunch of like ramp elements, but also just some really strong aggressive curves. So we're gonna have Purplemurasaki leading with a jaunty tune, discarding a Grand Circus, which makes sense. Grand Circus would have entered tapped because of the other Grand Circus that Purplemurasaki played, and now gets to draw 2 cards off the jaunty tune. I think we're going to see a turn 2 Enkim here. Enkim is one of the primordial gods from Urshad Covenant of Blood. They aren't creatures until you use all of their modes, but their modes are pretty good. So yep, Enkim is going to come down. Have to see which mode, but I have to assume that you just make the treasure to give yourself more options next turn. Meanwhile, Dodger's turn 2 is a little unclear. I think you probably play Dawncrist Kamar off the Eroding Expanse, bounce it with Bahamma's Sanctum, is what I'd imagine. And then you can play Musha turn 3. I don't hate that. That's a pretty good curve. You wouldn't have a desert card in your graveyard, but you would get at least the kill something mode, or you just get... I guess you get the Lizard because there isn't really anything to kill. So yeah, it looks like that is the play. Plays the Dawncrist Kamar off their Eroding Expanse, then bounces it with the Bahamma's Sanctum. So purple draws into an Amalgamate Pariah. This is one of the strong self-discard synergy cards. And essentially infinitely scaling 2-drop threat that really threatens to take over the game if left unanswered in this type of deck. But let's see. So Dawncrist Kamar as a 2/2 dork is pretty strong here. The question is, if you're purple, I guess you can't really play. I guess actually, you could play Cassie Vane and then kill the Dawncrist Kamar. I think that's probably just the best play, yeah. And then you can just keep the treasure. So yeah, Cassie Vane comes down, kills a Dawncrist Kamar, and then Enkim. I think you probably just do the damage so that next turn you can get some, like you can play Amalgamate Pariah and then immediately grow it into a 3/2. Meanwhile, Dodger is left with only being able to play Basking Gila here, which is good as a 3/2, but I think the problem is it's going to eat a Liquidate probably. So like looking at the turn structure here, it's probably going to be Cassie +1, just making each player discard a card, but it's fine because Dodger has a bunch of lands. Actually, wait, there is a problem here. Amalgamate Pariah actually doesn't grow into a... I was thinking, okay, Amalgamate Pariah grows into a 3/2. Musha can come down and ping it with the ETB. But actually, Enkim is going to make purple discard a card. Cassie is going to make purple discard a card. So Amalgamate Pariah comes down here and actually grows into a 4/3 immediately, or even more potentially, like because purple can play Amalgamate Pariah, jaunty tune, and then, or actually, actually even has the mana to go. No, I guess you wanna have Liquidate up, so. Because I think you do want to keep Cassie around as another piece of removal, especially because if Cassie survives to next turn, she can kill any 2 toughness creature. So, yeah, I think you play Amalgamate Pariah, +1 Cassie, Enkim, discard draw. You have Manglemate as a 4/3, and then you can liquidate anything that comes around. And then even if yeah, I think that's probably just a play. Okay, so after playing the Amalgamate Pariah, is going to use Enkim's Sanctum. God, say that 5 times fast. And just bounces the mountain to hand. Is going to use Enkim, discard a card, draw a card. Oh wait, no, sorry. Oh, I think. Oh, so actually, I misread Enkim. For some reason, I thought it was you discard and draw, but it's just you discard and they discard. Okay. And then +1's Cassie Vane, Amalgamate Pride. So yeah, I mean, the good news is that both purple is sort of like running low on cards. The bad news is that purple doesn't really need them with a 4/3 that threatens to grow. Oh wow, and it's just gonna drop the liquidate on the Basking Gila. Yeah, this is pretty punishing. Not even gonna wait for Dodger to untap. See, and next turn, depending on what purple's threatening to swing in for 9 damage. That is pretty brutal. Musha can at least come down, kill Cassie. Oh, Dune Choke is so good. Wait. Oh, yeah, okay. The treasure actually lets... So Musha comes down, kills Cassie, then you Dune Choke and kill Amalgamate Pariah, and then all of a sudden, that Dune Choke top deck is actually pretty clutch. And then, yeah, and it can also snipe the blood. Oh, this is a back-breaking Musha play. And yeah, Purplemurasaki kind of jokingly says, damn, enabled it for you, but it is true. Dodger didn't have any ways to get Deserts into his grave naturally. And yeah, it's going to crack the treasure trove. Speaking of Purplemurasaki enabling Dodger, that 1 extra mana is going to allow for Dune Choke to kill the Amalgamate Pariah. So now it really is just kind of a classic trading on resources game, except Dodger is up a 2/2 that can't block. Now let's see. Renegade's Club is not great. Yeah, I think if you're purple, you play Renegade's Club. Remember, Jaunty Tune doesn't say... Jaunty Tune just says discard a card, but it's not as a cost. So you can just play Jaunty Tune on an empty hand and use it as a draw 2. So, and yep, here comes Jaunty Tune. No, it's not going to play it. No, you play the Jaunty Tune. There's no reason not to. Yep. Purple plays out the Jaunty Tune. And so, maybe out of resources for now and staring down a board that's bigger than his. But Dodger doesn't have any more threats. So if Dodger doesn't hit something proactive to do this turn, yeah, that's a land. After like a hand with a lot of them. So Dodger's just going to swing with Musha. Purple is going to take the trade, leaves Dodger up on board, but then doesn't have anything else to do. And now Purple's going to be drawing 3 cards. This is the kind of back and forth mid-range matchup that I would be expecting. Okay, so you have... Oh, this is brutal. I think that you can go Death Pit's Brutalizer into Ratkin Rousing. And that gives you a 3/2 haste, a 2/1 that can't block, a 2/1 haste that can't block, and then a 1/1 menace. Like, yeah, or okay, I guess you could just go for the... Oh no, wait, is Death Pit? No, that's... Oh yeah, I forgot that... No, Enkim Sanctum... Oh, so you can actually just play Beargeist. Sorry, I forgot that purple has access to 5 mana. So yeah, then you just play Bargeist, discard the Ratkins, and then comes in with a shield counter. Yeah, that's brutal. And you will still get the 2/1 haste. Yeah. So now purple went from like having nothing on board to now having 9 power on board over 3 bodies, 5 of which is going to be swinging this turn. Now, Dodger can still turn this around. There are cards in the Deserts deck like Behema that can really just lay a hurting here. But if Dodger just keeps hitting lands, it's not going to be great. Okay, Dune Choke. Dune Choke can kill the Death Pit's Brutalizer and buy some time for Dodger. At least takes out the engine that purple is working with. Yep. But again, I mean that's still 6 damage. Uh, that's killing in like 3 turns and maybe 2 turns depending on what purple top decks here. Crucible of Origins. Well, can sacrifice this to grab something back from grave. What do you want to get in this situation when you're empty-handed? I guess you can just, because it is at instant speed, so you can just wait to see what Dodger has. Um, and then on end, sacrifice it and look to grab back whatever you need, which I guess would be like Enkim gives you lethal. Oh my god, Dodger with also the Crucible of Origins top deck. Um, Unfortunately, Dodger is a turn too late. Dodger has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Can get back Dune Choke and kill. Oh no, Dodger's passing. I think that Dodger had to get back Dune Choke and kill the warrior. Cause now I think Dodger is yeah, Dodger's just mathematically dead. Purple grabs back Enkim. Oh no, okay. I guess Death Pit Brutalizer also counts because it has haste. And yeah, that's just and wow, after that was a brawl of a game one. That was resources being traded back and forth. That was modern player circa like 7 years ago's dream. But yeah, in the end, the power, like, despite again taking like technically making moves that were card disadvantage in some cases, purple was just ending up with threats that were bigger and better, and Dodger just didn't hit any of his big top end. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens in game two, depending on how the hands line up. Because again, I think this is a very this is very much a matchup where it really depends what kind, like how your interaction and threats are lining up into the opponents. Which sounds kind of stupid because you can say that about every match of Magic, but I mean more in the sense of like you really need to be trading your resources very specifically with they're like most relevant to your deck's threats, like the ones like, for example, you need to take out engines like Brutalizer. You need to take out the scaling threats that will outsize your Dune Chokes eventually. I think that killing and because again, lots of 2 toughness creatures, 3 toughness creatures are not going to be surviving here, so stuff that outsizes that going to be crazy. But yeah, we're gonna have to see how this game 2 plays out. Okay, getting into game 2, Dodger on the play with a turn 1 dork in the form of Don Chris Kamar. It's going to be a little rough for Dodger though, because he did go to 5, so we're gonna have to see how he's able to grind through here. Meanwhile, purple is gonna have the turn 1 Jaunty Tune into turn 2 Enkim. Dodger, actually, if you go, this is actually pretty good because, oh, I was gonna say purple didn't have a turn 1 red source without Renegade's Club, so would be forced to Renegade's Club into. Oh, but no, it does discard the Renegade Club to Jaunty Tune anyway. So now Sacred Bull's gonna come down as a 4/4 after exiling the Renegade's Club. Could also just play the Basking Gila, and the Basking Gila offers some pretty decent ramp here. Yeah, so gonna play out the Basking Gila. Now purple's put in a weird position of like, okay, do you liquidate the Basking Gila? What do you do there? Jaunty Tune cracks, draws into some more cards. Doesn't have any other options other than Enkim or liquidate here. And even, I think you have to play out the Enkim because you need something proactive, and Enkim needs time to come online. But yeah, this is a terrifyingly fast start from Dodger. That the turn 1 dork and Don Chris Kamar is really putting in work. So next turn you Basking Gila, get back Desolate Trail, crack it, grab a forest. You can then play Sahari, and then immediately start going off. So yeah, purple does run out the Enkim, and then makes the treasure, passes. Another land isn't bad. I mean, You play Eroding Expanse, oh, it enters untapped. Oh, it enters untapped. And then taps for is just gonna, yeah, okay, you just run out Sahari. And then you make your Convoy's Companion, and then it's going to get +1/+1 because of Basking Gila recurring the Desolate Trail. Oh no, it's just gonna -2 immediately to. That is a little, huh? I think that's a little greedy, because now if you attack with Basking Gila to recur the Desolate Trail, um, Haste Threat and Death Pit's Brutalizer can then just kill Sahari without any additional investment. Or wait, no, Enkim can also, yeah, Enkim can just kill Sahari on its own. I don't like this play. I think that you would much rather just plus Sahari up to 5. Especially because you're almost out of gas and your opponent is at 6 cards. Use your Planeswalker, I guess. Okay, I guess the idea is to grab Nisigal as essentially what do you call it? A Field of the Dead alike. Dodger sacks the forest. I think you'd prefer to sack the Desolate Trail. Oh, I guess the idea is that Basking Gila can still kill Enkim. Yeah, because it's still a creature. So even if it can't, it's not like the other gods where it's like it's not a creature, so it can still take damage. And so, oh yeah, so Eroding Expanse, Nisigal, and then Desolate Trail. So now Enkim. Oh, that's 3 triggers. Basking Gila just kills Enkim, and then Desolate Trail can ramp into another land. Okay, I see the vision. The problem here is that Death Pit's Brutalizer is going to come down and kill Sahari, but then I guess maybe it's not the worst because you still have Basking Gila, Dawncrist Kamar, Sacred Bull as like threats to just overpower purple. Purple having like 4 lands in hand definitely doesn't help. And another land off the top, not ideal. Also doesn't have a way to really enable discard is the issue. I guess Crucible of Origins to slowly make blood tokens, which is not the worst, but yeah. Dodger also doesn't have a way to remove Death Plus Brutalizer, notably. So, yep, Death Plus Brutalizer is going to come down, and Sahari is going to die. Okay, Crucible of Origins is pretty big here. Can grab back the Sahari. Also is Desert density for Nisigal. So he's going to crack Desolate Trail. Grab a forest. So now, okay, Basking Gila pings. So it's going to actually. I lied. Dodger does have a way to kill. Because with the Crucible top deck, Dodger does have a way to kill the Death Pit's Brutalizer. Dawncrist Kamar is also a 3/2. Yeah, it's a 3/2 Vigilance. The little antelope camel that could. So we're going to swing in for 6 this turn. Recur the Desolate Trail. And then kill Death Pit's Brutalizer. Once again, crack it, grab a forest. And then I think the question is, Nisigal, how much mana do you don't have enough mana to you don't have enough mana to Nisigal. Or sorry, you don't have enough mana to Crucible of Origins plus Sahari. So yeah, you just play out the Sacred Bull. And because purple has that Renegade's Club, Bull's going to be coming in as a 4/4. Is this presenting lethal next turn? It is theoretically presenting lethal next turn because you can sacrifice Crucible of Origins and then recur it with Basking Gila and then deal 1 damage to face. But purple has Liquidate to be able to kill a creature here at the very least, so there is that. Okay, Shadow Strangulation is another removal spell. So Shadow Strangulation kills Kamar. Liquidate can kill, I guess, Sacred Bull, and then Dodger is just left with a 3/2, but also still has Crucible of Origins to. You spend, yeah, you can Crucible of Origins, recur Sahari, and it's not in a bad spot after that. It definitely buys some time. So yeah, Shadow Strangulation coming down. There goes Kamar. Response. I guess Dodger's gonna tap it. I guess I think tapping it would have actually made sense because if purple can't liquidate on the same phase. Actually, that doesn't really matter. So is now going to liquidate, killing the Sacred Bull. No, you're not killing the Sacred Bull, killing the Gila. I guess is afraid of the life gain. Strange. And then I think you have to play the Crucible here. Just no, actually, yeah. You play the Enkim Sanctum because it's a tap land, but you want Crucible to start getting blood tokens. Like this purple has really flooded this game. Like if purple, if even one of these was a non-land, this would be a very different game because of of Dodger being like out of cards. So Dodger is gonna create a blood token. Oh, and because Dodger's empty-handed, can just immediately crack the blood token to draw a card. Oh, no, wait, no, discarding a card is part of the cost of blood token. What am I saying? Blah. But hey, you don't really want that Behemoth Sanctum, so I think you can safely crack it with your blood token to try and draw into something. Because it doesn't have mana to Crucible of Origins and recur something. So yeah, it's going to tap a green, blood, cycle, Hymn of Verdance. Okay, that's pretty good. You gain some more life to stabilize, and then you can, on end... Oh no, Dodger is just going to... I guess Dodger's thought is because it can be activated from the graveyard, you can just cycle it away with the... and be fine with it. Yeah, okay. Hymn of Verdance. You're really digging deep for one of the top end pieces. Boar-Super Reclaimer, pretty decent. I think you play that off the treasure. And I think, does this threaten lethal next turn? With Behemoth Sanctum and Grave. Yeah, well, what am I even saying? Yeah, okay. You exile Behemoth Sanctum and that's lethal. So purple needs to hit some sort of removal for the Boar-Super Reclaimer. And that's another land. That is a really unfortunate set of draws for purple that's taking us into a game 3. Dodger showing that, hey, the desert deck can grind pretty well in its own right. Okay, going into game 3, Purplemurasaki on the play keeps a pretty greedy hand. Bunch of, 3-drop haymakers, but does have Liquidate on 2 to destroy whatever turn 2 play Dodger has. And then I guess you can just play your top end. But I think, is this really the best way to use the play advantage here? Dodger's just going to play the Unbridled Wilderness and then pass. Top deck Sahari is quite good here. But you kind of just have a curve out. You go turn 2 Boar-Super, turn 3 Basking Gila. The Gila recurs Desolate Trail. And then you can do some silly stuff with Sahari. Yeah, like we saw last game. There is kind of an issue in that, Borusupa, Basking, and Sahari are all drawing from the same, resource pool of exiling lands in your graveyard. So we could see that potentially becoming an issue. Okay, purple top decks and Enkim Sanctuary. I think is considering whether he wants to just play it now or wants to leave up a Liquidate. The reason to play Enkim's now, the reason to play Enkim's now is to give yourself access to flexible mana so you can play either Unshackled Flamebinder or Death Pit's Brutalizer next turn. But yeah, another Basking Gila from Dodger's hitting kind of all gas, and as long as Dodger hits like a 4th land at some point, this is a pretty decent way to go. Empty Vaults is a pretty good... Oh, that's a pretty nasty sideboard card here, actually. Again, we were just talking about how Dodger's deck relies on lands in grave. So, Unshackled Flamebinder from Purplemurasaki. 4-3 for 3, pretty not bad, and is going to swing in, discard 4 cards. Can discard all of the unnecessary cards and draw into just good gas. Basking Gila coming down. I guess the problem is that purple, this doesn't have trample, so it can just get traded on by the Basking Gila. But purple has removal to be able to stop that with the Liquidate. Dodger really needs a 4th land to be able to play Musha or Sahari. So yeah, if you're purple, you can just play Liquidate, kill Basking Gila, play Enkim, and then make a treasure, and then next turn you have 6 mana to be able to Death Pit's Brutalizer. Yeah, you have a lot of options going into next turn. Yeah, I think Liquidate, kill Basking Gila, swing in with Unshackled, and then see what you get, and then if you don't get anything that's better than Enkim, just play Enkim is a pretty good play. So yeah, it looks like that is what's going to happen. Purple runs out the Liquidate on the Basking Heala, swings in with Unshackled Flamebinder. Looks like is thinking about what to discard. Um, the hand is pretty good. I don't even know if you want to discard anything. It's kind of the funniest part of it. Um, Maybe you want to discard. No, even Crucible is just a good in a game like this where you're trading off resources. Crucible is quite good. Maybe you just discard Corpse Maker Sukkar, and then pay the black and make your zombie token. But is that better than just playing out Enkim? I don't think so. But you can go Corpse Maker Sukkar, Empty Vault, Exile, Basking Heala. And yeah, this is a rough spot for Dodger to be in because it's like the Unshackled Flamebinder's ability here is just going to kind of lock down Dodger's board. So yeah, purple declines to discard and oh no. Purple discarded Crucible of Origins, draws into Zimshigur Threads of Life. Oh, that's really strong. Oh, that's backbreakingly strong. And has the mana for it next turn. And yeah, that, like, another Basking Heala. Yeah, Dodger needs, like, removal is kind of the issue. Like, he's just so behind the curve now with Enkim and Unshackled Flame. The Unshackled Flamebinder threatening to just kill whatever Dodger plays here is not the best. 4 mana, Musha's coming down. You destroy the treasure, 2 damage to face, make the lizard. Oh, there isn't a desert card in graveyard, so it just has to destroy the treasure. Okay. Yeah, not an ideal scenario. Really wishing that Musha did that full 3 damage, huh? And it doesn't even end up mattering. Purple top decks the mountain, so now can just play Zimshigur. I think, yeah, because, I mean, you just play Zimshigur. Swing for... Oh, no, but I guess... Or you just... Or, honestly, you can just Unshackled Flamebinder, kill Musha, swing in. Yeah, like, because Unshackled Flamebinder just keeps locking down the board. Like, now that you're ahead, Unshackled Flamebinder kind of just locks the board down until further notice, I suppose. So yeah, it is going to exile Renegade's Club and Crucible of Origins to kill Musha, swing in for another 4, discarding the Empty Vaults and the Corpse Maker Sukkar, paying the black to make the 2/2 zombie. Like, I think the problem... Okay, so the problem here is if you're Dodger, Behema is what gets you out of the situation. The problem is Dodger needs 2 more lands and Behema. And I don't think that Dodger can actually, like... The Hymn of Verdance actually buys some time with the life gain. Okay, that's another Hymn of Verdance. Oh, this is so backbreaking. Has to play another Basking Heala and then just leave them both up as blockers. Meanwhile, Purple just has all gas in hand. Can just start running away with the game. So Demi's Repentance, discarding Creature, Enchantment. I guess just Creature, Enchantment. So yeah, you can just... Demi's Repentance... No, is that actually better than... No, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I think you just once again Unshackled Flamebinder, kill Basking Heala, and then swing in with your Unshackled Flamebinder. And yep, that is the play that Purple goes for. I mean, can just lock down the board so effectively. And then next turn, Enkim is online. Yeah. I don't know how Dodger gets back from this. With again, Behema is really good here, but I think that's the only X for 1 that Dodger truly has in this scenario. Like, Sihari... If Dodger had, like, any lands in grave, a Sihari top deck could kill Enkim and Unshackled Flamebinder, but that isn't the case. And then, yeah, main 2, I guess just play a jaunty tune. Kind of just a Final Fantasy victory theme jingle at this point. And then, yeah, Dodger just plays out the Dawncursed Kamar, but doesn't have enough blockers. The Hymn of Verdance is only going to do so much. Swings out with a massive board. What are the best blocks here? I mean, you can block... You can block to the point where you take 11 damage, and then Purple still has you dead on board next turn. Damn. And yeah, that's it for Dodger. It was kind of being stuck on lands didn't help there, but also, wow, Unshackled Flamebinder just took over that game three and ran with it. Um, Purple wasn't in need of more card selection, but definitely got there. And again, once it was online, just kept the board locked down for good. And Dodger just didn't have the Dune Choke to be able to kill it. But yeah, another 3-game nail biter in our first round of Revolution 2099 matches. What other Urshad Covenant of Blood cards await us in the rest of round one? We'll just have to see with the other half of the bracket. But until then, this is going to be Caillou signing off.